Hey, welcome back to the Virginia Midland HO layout. Back for a Black Friday edition of an layout update. What's going on, any other things. As you can see here, I'm here at the workbench today, finishing up some decaling projects for a friend of mine. Lots of Ortners here, lots of hoppers, good stuff here, lots of decaling. So what I'm going to do, we're going to go over, I don't have a whole lot to update. I'm finally getting some time to modeling. November's been pretty good so far. Baseball's over. Every weekend seemed like I had something going on. Baseball every Saturday. Just really it still had that little funk of not getting anything done. So finally, I feel like, I don't know, maybe it's just the weather. It's been so warm here in the fall. Maybe I'm going to blame it on something. I don't know what it is. I'm never going to blame it on myself. Because why would I not want to do some modeling? But in this November Black Friday update, some of you guys might be shopping right now. Good luck on that one. I was thinking about going down here to the Home Depot, which is only about 5 or 6 miles away. Check their flyer out. I checked it twice. Checked it 3 times. Nothing really worth going out. I've had good luck at that one before at like 10, 11 o'clock. So morning is still early. So it is 9 o'clock here on the East Coast. But anyways, things I'm going to go over in this one. Got some new sound decoders. Got a new locomotive back probably in September during the MARPM RPM meet. Something I needed that I didn't really want to have to build. But anyways, got a couple different sound decoders. I finally picked up a Tsunami 2. That was an adventure. I'll talk about that in a second. And I just got in this week a Loc Sound decoder. One of the 21-pin plug-and-play ones. Talk about that. Been interchanging the different companies and stuff like that. Because as you know, I'm a big keep alive and capacitor person. I like to have that extra little, I guess, extra power in it, just in case you encounter a dirty track or anything on your layout. But it's a great idea, and I'll talk more about that. And probably I've got a spot on the layout. I think the last video I talked about, and I finally finished it, and I still haven't done much on the layout except for that part there. But here this winter, I'm going to hopefully get the new track arrangement done, and hopefully a few other things, start getting some scenery down here on this lower level. Because up on the upper level, it's totally pretty much scenery 100%. Still got to come back to the details and things like that. But there is scenery covering 100% of the top level now, which is nice. Somebody comes in and show your layout off, you can see that's nice not to have that. So anyways, there's always a million things to do on a layout, but you know how that is. You've always got time to do that. So I'll come back to you and talk about these new sound decoders, this little update here on my scenery, and a couple other things. So stay tuned. Alright guys, we're still on the workbench here. Can't see my face, but really you don't need to see my ugly face anyways. I'm going to talk about this locomotive. I think I've stuck about 4 different sound decoders in this sucker. But first let's start with the Tsunami 2 here. Oh boy, this has been an adventure. Let me tell you, back in August I got one when they first did the PNC boards. I'm sorry, PNP boards, plug and play boards. You put it in. It's got a nice thing where you don't have to wire in the keep alive anymore. So I got that and I stuck it in this locomotive here, Mass D20-2. All right, and wow, I turned it on and super distorted sound. It's like, all right, maybe we got a bad speaker or something like that. But change it out. Could never get it to work. This thing was running like burning hot. It probably could have melted shell. I kid you not, I almost picked up a burn on my finger because it was running so hot. So I don't know what the deal was with that. So I sent it back to, I called Soundtracks, sent it back to them. They said 2 to 3 weeks turnaround. I believe I got this in October. So we're talking 2+ months. Finally plugged it in and everything, and it worked fine. I do recommend this. The sounds and everything, the new sounds. Instead of having buying a decoder for every different sound, now you can buy a EMD, and you got all the different EMD sounds. If I buy a GE, it's got all the different GE sounds. Buy an Alco, it's got all the different Alco sounds. So I would say, plus with the plug-in with the Keep Alive, makes this a good run. It's got some good sounds. Check it out on soundtracks.com. Very recommended, except I don't know, maybe I just got a bad one. First time ever I got a bad sound decoder from Soundtracks. Let's fast forward to this week. I took this out of my ST20-2, and I've been hearing a lot about those Loc Sound. I've got one of the Loc Sound Selects. It was hit or miss, and I really didn't. The Keep Alive, I did finally hook one up in there, and it did okay and everything like that. It took me a while to figure out how to hook it up. But I decided to get a 21 pin. Now, wish I had one of these out, but I don't. But TCS makes what's called a motherboard, which a motherboard is kind of like this P board here. It's pretty much the same thing, except you have to take one of the 21 pin decoders and plug down into the plugs it has on this. Now, of course, the TCS is made for the WOW sound, which I do have 2 of these. Still messing with the CVs and stuff like that, trying to get it to run well. I've got one in a Intermountain ST40-2, and I've got finally picked an 8th GP50 Norfolk Southern from my new Norfolk Southern stuff that I'll be running on the lower level. So I got the Loc Sound one. The neat thing about the Loc Sound is they have a lot of the individual decoder sounds, very individual motors. So I went with this, and if anybody knows the history of the 20-2 or the ST20-2, used to be a ST35, and they rebuilt them. So actually, should only have, if you can see this, should only be 2 stacks here. It's almost like a 38, but it's a 645 in it, but it's a rebuilt, and it would work for like a GP16 or a couple of the rebuilds that came out in the big rebuild era of like the 70s and 80s. CF7 would probably be in there too, which I love CF7. Everybody knows me. So I got that. It sounded good, and this really, really sounds good. Plugged right in. Doesn't sit perfectly on the motherboard because it's got a couple of the things on the bottom, these squares like this, these little boxes. But it sits in there better than the. I've tried a Tsunami on there, and that works. So I see probably the other ones. That motherboard is instead of having this big bulky thing in it, you have the capacitors that sit on the end here, and you still have room for your solder pads and everything like that. Now, when I was up at Timonium back in end of October, I'm actually on the Great Scale Model Train Show staff now, so I help up with all the shows. So I'll see you up there and come by and say hi. Usually selling some stuff up there with Mike Militello, who lives right down the road. Right beside us, we have Yankee Dabbler, if you're familiar with Yankee Dabbler. And I just got the GP50, Aether Genesis GP50, and I wanted to put a WOW sound and a decoder in it with their motherboard. All right, and their whole deal with their speaker and everything, those 3 things, that is a great deal. I got that whole deal for like just over $100. So we got a decoder, a motherboard, and a speaker for right around, I think, $104. So I think that was a great deal. And now the new thing is with their boards, they were telling me that TCS recommends the solder that's Yankee Dabbler sells. It's like a liquid, I'm sorry, not solder, but a flux. And also solder that goes with it. I think it's a 96 96 lead, 4%. I don't know, whatever the percentages is. High percentage of something, 96 to 4. Almost like beef you buy at the store. 96% or 4% fat. But I'm going to start using both of these because I've been using this old Oakley flux here that I've been using forever. So I'm going to start using this solder and this flux here, which is a super soft flux. So it's supposed to be better on the circuit boards and stuff like that. So I don't know. I bought it. It was I think he kind of threw it in because I bought the Wow Sound package there. But anyways, nice of the Yankee Dabbler was nice. He's got their big and I don't think they carry Loke Sound, but we'll talk about the Loke Sound. Loke Sound, I'm going to give you some sound samples at the end of this locomotive. He sounds great. I'm very happy with it. So, but that's enough about decoders and talking. Let's hit a couple other things here I'm going to talk about tonight. Alright, here we are down here at the old St. Just over here by the control board on a lower level. Here is, I can't think of this place's name, but this is my corn syrup facility. Chesapeake Valley Sweeteners, I think. Can't remember. I don't think I ever need to put a design on the side of the building. And what I did, I put in, you can kind of see the old brown is what was here, and I put in this pink along with this board here that kind of blocks. It goes kind of hidden staging and then doesn't appear till over there. So it's probably about 4 feet of hidden stage and it goes underneath on my board and everything like that. So I got to figure out what to put in this area. This is going to be the end of my line now. It used to be the beginning of the lower level. So not exactly sure what I'm going to put in. As you can see, my trains will go over there through the hole in the wall to staging now where my helix is. There's my other engine I was talking about earlier that I had sound in my, what is that, Wow Sound. So, not sure exactly what I'm going to do here. I need to figure out where my sand unloading spur is going to be. I'm not 100% sure where that's going to be at yet, but we're still working on that. So, was thinking about putting in maybe some crop fields here, a little farm barn or something, a little barn off to the side. But might bring a spur off of here and just kind of go into hidden staging here to where the sand loads go. So I don't know. That's just a thought that hit me one day. So. Anyways, that's the only add I've had to the layout here, and that was probably done a couple months ago, back in probably September. So, anyways, well, guys, I'm gonna wrap this video up here. I didn't want to get too far over 10 minutes. You know how those are. Some of those videos, you just find my videos, find some of the videos, just fall right to sleep too. Especially if you got a monotone voice like me, I'm out. So, wanted to show you GP50 I picked up back in September, October during the MARPA meet that's coming up next September. Wow, Genesis knocked the ball out of the park with these. I put the Wow Sound in it. Still got a, you know, you're so used to the Tsunamis, and you know how to change all the CVs. You got most of them memorized. I go through and change everything, and they run like a clock. Wow Sound, I've got to sit here and mess with a little bit. So, still need to tinker a little bit, look at their manual online. That's the only thing I hate. I like having something right here in front of me instead of going online. So, we'll see if I can mess with it a little bit, because I've got a couple Wow Sounds I need to start getting just used to working with them. So, and I really like the Loke Sound. You'll hear it here in a second. But anyways, always got projects on my bench here. You can see my workbench is I got that big decal and project, weathering project, but be done here in a day or two with those. Threw in one of my decal projects. Guys probably never heard of this. Norfolk, Franklin, and Danville. It was a railroad that ran between those cities back in I think it ran into the 80s. But it was a Norfolk and Western subsidy line, and they finally, I think, just let them run it, and they ran some RS11s and RS36s and stuff like that. So they had their own. And I've always liked the logo, so I picked up a book the other day, well, back in the summer, and even though this box car is close to something they had, I think they had a double door, just painted over an extra one I had, put the decals on it, so it'll still live on my road, even though it's been gone since the 80s. But anyway, so wrapping this video up, trying to see anything else I want to talk about. I guess not, but anyways, you guys enjoy the modeling season. Hopefully you had a good Thanksgiving, and Christmas is hard to believe. It's exactly 1 month from today. So I got 3 weeks of work of my job, and then I'm off for 2 weeks. So that's not a bad little compromise there. Hopefully get some modeling in over the holidays, spend some time with the family. So anyways, thanks for checking this video out. Got any questions, comments, concerns, please put it in the comments, or you can email me. That's great. I've got a lot of people that email me with the comments. So